Yeah, I grew up watching those movies and it's like, oh, these are the greatest things ever. But then I realized, of course, for them, it had to be a hassle at some times. But you got great
Right.
stories like you were practicing with Billy Blanks and Keith Cook. You guys were practicing in the hotel hallway.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh, love
that
that.
must have been the greatest
So
thing.
cool.
Tell me about
It
it.
was so cool. And I got to say, just to interject,
Yeah.
that fight, that dream fight with Keith
Mm.
and Billy, and it's black in the background, and it's
Oh, yeah.
supposedly praying.
In the ring, right?
And
Yeah.
right, I looked at that. I'm getting chicken skin chills right now thinking
Wow.
about it. I saw that and I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, what am I doing in this movie? These guys should have their own movies going on, just the two of them teaming up or being whatever. Now, look, God bless Keith Cook. There's a Keith Hirabayashi, right?
Yeah.
He's Billy's a whole 6 inches taller than he is, right?
Yeah.
But or more. But the fact is that the two of them, they're so ripped, they're so cut up, and even now Keith is like he's
Wow.
like Adonis,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and just an amazing athlete,
Mm.
truthfully. And to work with him was phenomenal as well. To digress a little bit, uh, Yunque came out, and Keith was having trouble with this one part of the gaff, one part of the fight, where he has to do 3 spin kicks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he said, "Man, I can't get around on this third one because we're working together. We had a great rapport, all of us, Billy, Keith, and I. Because why? We're martial artists. These are two world champions, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm able to hang with them. So Billy had already come to me and said, Loren, it's your movie. I want it to be great. Whatever we need to do, I am there for us and for the film. And that's the most beautiful thing that you can have in that kind of situation. So Keith comes to me and he goes, man, I'm having trouble getting around on the certain one. I said, jump. And sure enough, he goes, shoot, 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 bang. And he does that jump, and it is phenomenal. And then as far as the split round kick, which Keith had done in a couple of movies, I think he does it in China O'Brien. I think he
Hmm.
does it in some other ones. But, the spacing on that's very difficult. So he did the right thing. He did the split, which is a total miss. And then the guy's there, and he does the roundhouse kick. Bang! He hits the guy. There's blood coming out of his ear, out of his mouth.
Oh, he
But they
actually
got the
hit the
shot.
guy. Oh,
Oh yeah, and I mean, let me tell you, when they say, "Oh, flying kicks, you're gonna fall down," no. Let me tell you who fell down. That dude was boom, and he just went, boom, he was down on the
let me
ground
tell
like,
you who fell down.
blood coming out of the ear and out of the mouth. And Keith didn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. I'll tell you a funny story too about that. Keith and I were doing the training scene, and I have this thing wrapped around me, and Keith knows where to kick. First of all, Keith is pinpoint accurate.
Hmm.
He kicks me once, and he knocks the wind out of me with this little roundhouse kick snap. But he hits me right in the solar plexus, and I go, "Ooh!" And I can't finish the rest of the scene. So I'm like, "Give me a minute." So I said, "Brother, next time when you kick me, just barely touch me or whatever." And he did, because he had that control. But it happens, if you're breathing in at the wrong time, even if you're flexing your abs, you can still knock the wind out because he had that pinpoint accuracy and that power. But working with these guys and being around them and our camaraderie was just absolutely through the roof.
and
Um,
and
and
uh,
if I was if I
it's
was
really
difficult to work with, you think that we would have that kind of ambiance, that kind of camaraderie, or any kind of things that we did? No, of course, because if you don't have that teamwork, I mean, think about first of all Billy Blanks. He could pick the buttons off of your shirt. He was
mm.
so fast, and he's 235 pounds when he begins this film. I'm 170 pounds soaking wet, and he would do this thing where he'd say, hold up your hand. I'm going to jab your hand twice. I mean, full jabs, pop, pop, full jabs out and back. before you can move your hand.
Oh man.
He could do it. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was Sugar Ray Leonard holding his hand up. He could hit your hand twice. So Billy's control and his power were just unmatched, unbelievable. And there's some footage of him going around doing the publicity circuit on YouTube of him actually breaking cinder blocks, breaking boards at these video software dealer companies where we would go and meet people. I went on a 2-week tour. So did he when King of the Kickboxers came out. But the fact is working out with these guys and having this camaraderie and having this rapport. And Keith, I think this was Keith's really like his first starring role or co-starring role.
I believe
and he just knocked
so.
it out of the park. I think he knocked it out of the park, really. I mean, one of my favorite things is when I say to him, I said, oh, yeah, I'm giving him a hard time. Life, looking through life through the bottom of a bottle. And he walks up and he hits his head. And I don't know if they did this on purpose to have this little piece of wood come down. He hits his head and he says, doesn't look too bad. And he walks away,
All you could teach me is what life looks like from the inside of a bottle.
Doesn't look too bad.
But it was just phenomenal working with these guys because here you have two professionals, really.
Yeah.
Whether
And you provided
Billy
a great comic relief. The way you deal with that nonsense, that mystical shit. This is what I hate about the Orient guys, man. I love that scene. I love that scene.
The New York cop, over there, like it was so cocky to begin with. He's doing it again, I don't need you guys. I can handle these guys alone. So that character was, of course, larger than life.
Yeah.
And, it was just so much fun to do all of this hard work. And it was cover your ass time all the time. They had punji sticks in that clong water that were real bamboo sharpened sticks. I walked those stage different platforms, and I'm like, are those real bamboo? I said, what if somebody, never mind me, what if somebody on the crew slips and falls in? I mean, do you realize that someone can be killed? And so they replaced them with rubber and things like that. But you would always have to cover your ass, really. And let me tell you, Billy and everything that Keith and Billy and I did was as realistic as it could be. And it was hard. I mean, really, I know all of us were bruised up. Billy had lost about 30 pounds by the time
throughout the shoot, because he was already maximized. So by being in that great heat,
right, and us, all of us, and
the humidity,
when you see him for the first shot of him, and the first time he is in the film is when Bruce Fontaine is there and he gets the hook in the chin and gets pulled up. And Billy says, they are waiting for me, or whatever. And he come in and you see this guy. He's 235 in that shot. And he is just massive. And look, again, just such a blessing to work with such an incredible group of martial artists and great stunt people. Tony Leung Shin Hong, who is the Green Dragon Master in the first Ip Man, was the fight choreographer and the stunt coordinator on those films. Dee Dee was on both of them. Dee Dee's a very famous Hong Kong stunt guy. Dee Dee actually, when we were doing the fight tests for Blood Brothers, the day that Keith broke his arm, had me try to chase him around that little studio to kick him. He said, just try to hit me. Just try to hit me. I couldn't catch this guy. I could not, and I was thick then too. I was about 195. I had bulked up, man. I was training like an animal 6 hours a day for that film. because I knew what to expect after No Retreat, No Surrender 2, and I wanted to be ready. And it was shot right here near where I live. Now I live in Clearwater, Florida, and we shot it in Clearwater and in Tampa.
Oh,
And so